Well, it all comes down to this on a sunny Monday in Sano, the final of Japan Premier League 10. East Kanto Sunrisers against the Kansai Chargers, the Sano International Cricket Ground. For all the marbles, what a run it's been. The Chargers unbeaten coming into this one. The Sunrisers, meanwhile, a last-ditch morning effort, qualified for the final. It is Kendall Katawaki Fleming's Sunrisers who have won the toss and elected to bat here in Sano. Pleasure to be with you here at the home of Japanese cricket as we decide the winner of JPL 10. The storyline, Kansai Chargers unbeaten and hunting for their first ever JPL title, taking on the team trying to defend the trophy. Beautiful afternoon in Sano, albeit with a little bit of wind coming across the ground. Daniel Beswick in the commentary box with Garth Thomas. An eagerly awaited final. The scenario an interesting one after what has been an exciting morning's action, Garth.
Yeah, good afternoon, viewers. It's certainly going to be an interesting final. Had a great curtain raiser the match before. So Chargers chasing down a big score of 171 for victory to put out of contention the West Kanto Hurricanes. They have to go to ground 2 to play off the 3rd and 4th alongside North Kanto Lions. But yeah, could this be the year for Kansai Chargers, yet to be beaten in the tournament? They played 4 matches, 1 abandoned, but the other 3 all resulting in victories. None more so impressive than the one just gone this morning. Jack Wood, the marquee player, hero's innings for his team, leading them across the line. Kansai Chargers have yet to win the JPL. They best finished 3rd place, that coming last year. Different scenario with East Kanto Sunrisers. They've won the JPL on 3 occasions, 2019, 2022 and last year 2024.
Just a little delay here in proceedings as we decide which end we want to start at. Looks as though they're going to start here at the high school end. We'll just quickly run through the teams for you. Chargers are Tawari Abdul Samad. Tariq Shirai Patmore back in for the afternoon clash. With Galal, Declan Suzuki, McConnell, of course, captain of the team. Jack Wood, Kai Wall, Makoto Taniyama, Elizabeth Naika, Funny Coach Chandon, Rahil Kano. And as for the Sunrisers, led by Kendall Katawaki Fleming, of course, Abhishek Anand, Benjamin Ito Davis, Ibrahim Takahashi, Kento, also the Bell, Mitch Jamison, the marquee man, Sanan Luitel, Shima Fujioka Fletcher, Shoma Slater, Tsuyoshi Takada, and Zubai Khan making up the 11 for the men in green and gold. A little bit of history on the line for the Sunrisers looking to defend their trophy, I should say. And this man taking the new ball for the Chargers, Abdul Samad, in the running for MVP of the tournament. The first ball of the final defended back to Samad. No point playing the prediction game as we've seen at this tournament thus far. Everything seemed to have gone out the window. And the Sunrisers, who have to mark through Katawaki Fleming, they've made almost a miracle run to the final. Terrible day 2 outing, it must be said, and day 3 they needed a big win and they found one, albeit in an 11 over a side affair on field number 2.
The Abdul Samad In his 3 matches, he's taken 8 for 42. That's at an economy of 3.5. He did a marvellous tournament, all right.
They take off quickly. The single at the non-bowler's end was tight there for a moment. Mitch Jamieson joining Katawaki Fleming at the top of the order. Jamieson a Footscray. Over the top. Not timed to perfection for Katawaki Fleming, but he'll pick up 2.
Strong breeze blows across the ground here at Sano.
Oh, it's been put down. Samad had begun celebrating and it's been dropped by Shirai Patmore behind the stumps, the national team keeper. Katawaki Fleming into the leg side for 1 in the first over, and will they live to rue that half chance taken or not taken? 5 for no loss, 1 over into the final.
Yeah, just a slight acknowledgement there from Patmore to his bowler Samad. Just missing that opportunity to see how expensive it will be.
One to take note of there. Katawaki Fleming dropped on 3, ended up having that extra 1 after that. Just over by Samad, who would definitely be in the running for the best bowler of the tournament, if not the most valuable player, especially if Kansai were able to sneak over the line here in the final. Katawaki Fleming defending the first ball. Tiwari.
Tiwari, ex-member of the under-19s team, isn't he? Would have just aged out a bit. He'll be 20 years of age now, Tiwari. Big long limbs. He was a key member of the under-19 team. Visits to Darwin.
Kendall Katawaki Fleming takes on cover. Oh, and it was tight. I think it was Samad at cover. And it was. Big puff of dust at that end of the ground there, suggesting that that ball wasn't far away from hitting. Down the leg side, plenty of pace, but just losing his line on that occasion. Tiwari, a wide given. wide outside the off stump. Jamison flailing away. Bottom edge out to deep third.
Hasn't had the best tournament to date as Kendall Karawaki Fleming.
Oh, and it sliding down the leg side, you'd feel did send Kendall Karawaki Fleming to his knees.
You say that until, of course, the match just before they got 55, didn't it? But last couple of days, I used to see them going for small figures. Perhaps the shackles have been released from that earlier match on ground 2.
Down the track and almost trying to hit his way back into the middle of his bat. Let's pick up one.
Yeah, the match on getting East Kanto Sunrisers to the final was just an 11 over affair. East Kanto putting on 179 for 5. South Kanto falling well short by 65 runs. Yeah, that match has to be mentioned, was played on the artificial turf. It was 53 of 22 balls, got them off to a flyer alongside Mitchell Jamison's 84.
Just lost that one in the run up, be given a dead ball. It's been thrown back to Ari's turned around. Not the greatest 30 minutes of play I've ever seen, unfortunately.
Pleased to say on ground 2 they are back on the grass wicket. Being too wet this morning to play on. It upset the West Hurricanes, I know that. Because in the end, East Kanto overtook them on the net run rate.
Jamison turned back. Two overs in the books here in the final. It's time for Sunrisers, 9 for no loss. On the toss and elected to bat as well. The Sunrisers may be thinking that it's going to get a little bit more drier and difficult later in the day.
Outside charges, unbeaten in the tournament thus far. Due in part to this man, Joel Samad.
Might have been one there in the end, but Karawaki Fleming safely opting not to go. Can't pick the gap on this occasion either. Tight is from Samad, who might just be bowling himself back into the Japan squad. Upcoming T20I try series. A couple of left arm orthodoxes in the mix now. Swept this time from Karawaki Fleming, but Jack Wood is out there collecting. It's been a good 4 or 5 hours for Jack Wood in Kansai Chargers colours. And doing the work of Josh Brown earlier and striking the highest ever score in JPL history, 127. Managed to see that in the morning. You were treated to a spectacle. So again, keeping things tight. Wanted one.
Yeah, what was impressive with Jack Wood's innings was just the manner they went about it in the chase. Always looked in control. I can't think of too many opportunities for the opposition.
Maybe one of those ones of Ryan Drake at backward point, and then we could. It was a tough chance regardless. They got one on the boundary of Yamamoto Lake, but that was again more trying to keep the ball in play than a drop chance, so it didn't give them a dolly. Easy single picked off from Japanese men's skipper. One thing I've learned from this tournament as we head into the final is that there's no point making any predictions because everything seems to have been turned up on its head. Wide outside the off stump and Burrs, the bowler's end signalling wide. Chris Thurgate out in the middle, some two umpires on field today for the final. The Thurgate family, one almost synonymous with Japanese cricket in a way, both of his sons Ash and Marcus playing at the under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup in 2020. The Sharks boys down there. Easy one again for Jamison. Out to Jack Wood.
Yeah. Ash Thurgate will be out there on ground too. Marcus will be with his feet up somewhere. So I can't tell. The first time in a long time I can remember finishing bottom of the table, so not involved in finals playoff. 4-time winners in South Country Super Kings.
A little slow ball. Tiwari. This wicket definitely dusting up in the afternoon. It's seen plenty of cricket, and in fairness, the team have done an excellent job keeping it up to scratch with the demands of all the cricket that has been on it, from the Futures League to the 19s, now to the JPL. We've got a men's T20I series around the corner as well. Cook Islands and Thailand coming for that. Beginning on the 7th on the JCA YouTube channel. Again, dug into the surface. Karawaki Funding happy to knock into the leg side for one.
Yeah, this Thursday, Japan taking on Thailand. I'll take it. We'll also have a game next day versus the Cook Islands.
Well, the Cooks sit on the other side of the international date line. It's quite funny considering watching games the previous day. Takes on mid-off. The bowler a little bit disappointed that Kai Wall there wasn't quite in and ready to try and throw down the stumps, but a well-taken single from Jamison. I'm sure there will have been a few viewers from across the international date line keeping close tabs on the JPL and international players playing in it, of course. Another slower ball, kept to single. $16 for no loss, and a man who will be no doubt high on confidence, rested from bowling in the previous game. Jack Wood will now step up with the white ball in his hand. Looks like he's going to roll out his left arm wrist spin. The left-hander of Kendall Katawaki Fleming. And we'll match up here from Declan Suzuki McCommon. Alex Shirai Patmore looking to undo the men's senior team captain. And those who are watching him might be a little bit newer to Jack Wood's story. Came in the BBL as a COVID replacement, a local replacement player going back 4 years or so. It was actually more of a left arm wrist spin bowler than more of a bowling all-rounder than a batting all-rounder. In recent years has developed his batting, and if you'd watched the morning fixture you would have seen that in all its glory. 127, here he is with his left arm wrist spin. And it's a cobwebby start, I think, for Jack Wood, a loosener. It's going to bring about a free hit, of course. Big way side, no ball. And the free hit is put away by Katawaki Fleming. And let's see if we can get that ball back in time. The signal, of course, is 6 from Chris Thurgate. Take a little bit of time getting this back, but my eyes don't deceive me. It would have gone over the toilet blocks here at SICG.
Yeah. We may have landed on the hard surface down there, so I may just take a check of the ball.
As you noted, Spurgate having a quick look. Short again. Katawaki Fleming goes again. And 6 is put in the scorebook once more.
Just his second over of the tournament for Jack Wood.
Call of 1. And that mid-wicket field has just been pushed back a little bit inside the circle.
He's been utilised as a batsman for his 10 Kansai charges in the tournament thus far. Leads the runs scored at the moment, 158, average of 79. Jamison has a chance to overtake him for the top of the ladder.
It's one more for his season tournament tally.
Three marquee Australian players at the top of the unscored ladder. Jack Wood, Mitchell Jamison in 2, and Josh Brown in 3rd place.
Well outside the off stump and an easy decision for Chris Burgate. Big full toss. Just to wait the signal. You know, it's been given 6 by the fielder running around, and it's a no ball to boot. So another free hit. The Sunrisers' final charge against the Chargers in the final, off to a rollicking start.
Already a big over this one for East Canto. 23 off it, just one delivery to come when they find the ball. It's landed in some vegetation. Looks like someone's come up with it.
Yet to see Kendall Karawaki Fleming fireworks here on ground number 1 at the tournament, and albeit with a little bit of help. Got the chance here to load up with another half a dozen. Muscled. Leverage to get under the ball and over the top of the mid-off fielder. 4 more. Happy just to knock a dot ball out to cover to end the over. His first goes for 27. Given the treatment that he gave to Josh Brown at the end of the last game. 43 for no loss. 5 overs gone here at the SICG. Wind has picked up towards us here in the high school building, commentary box end. On bringing himself onto bowl. He's nursing that slight injury, as you mentioned in the first game today, losing it. A toenail actually in the nets while being struck. Well hit. Lifted over cover again before. It's one place you cannot bowl to this man. Anything over pitched and outside the off stump, angling away from him. Right arm, it's a left-hander. Normally ends in one result. Again, finds a gap, not quite out of the middle of his bat. They'll pick up 2. just maybe one knack that Karawaki Fleming has over some of the other players across the country. He's just able to find gaps a little bit better than his contemporaries, especially the 19s looking to learn their craft with the bat. Over the top, making the most of the final over the power play here. Man in at mid-off. All he could do was sit and watch.
Yeah, very strong area of his game, isn't it? Kimbo Karawaki Fleming through the cover region. Not afraid to go aerial on that occasion.
Been pushed back in a little field reshuffle, just the one. Ball coming up of the power play. Been a successful one for the defending champions with the bat. To defend. Chance of a good comeback from Declan Suzuki McComb. His first over does go for 12 though, runs off the first 5 balls of it. 55 for no loss.
Yeah, the power play done. In fact, it's a similar, very similar score to the early morning match. I believe was about the mark after the first 6 overs. Being led by Jack Wood in a brilliant chase, chasing down 170 the final total. Kai Wall, the ball in hand, the ball running in from the Sano tunnel at high school end, the school end as we know it, and the mountain end the opposite.
I'm happy just to push a single behind point. A good little audition this for Kai Wall to go up against the senior men's captain.
Yeah. In the end, he took Josh Brown's wicket, didn't he?
He's got a couple of big scalps in this tournament. Ben Wilson, I think, the memory too.
Right. Mitchell Jamison, could he be next?
A game of marquee batter bingo. Fortunately for him, he leaks 4. It might be leg buys. We'll await the call. No, it's runs. So, quite the result that Kai Wall would have liked first up. Bludgeon, but there is a man in the deep collecting. Big full toss, he's miscued it though, and it's fallen into the hands of the man on the boundary.
Makoto Taniyama, close mate and friend, of Kendall Karawaki Fleming.
Just tried to do a little bit too much on this occasion, didn't he? Into the leg side. It's another big scalp for Kai Wall at the tournament. And the Kansai Chargers, after not the greatest of starts, it must be said, have hit back, removing the national men's team captain.
He just sort of had to reach for it, but then he just took the power out of the shot, and in the end, well, it was only just short of falling over the boundary rope, but instead into the safe hands of Makoto Taniyama. And they'll have a chuckle about that later on, I'm sure. Taniyama, fanboy of Kendall's, very good mates, share the same birthday, very good friends. So little match up sort of around the ground here, but as you say, another big scalp for Kai Wall.
It'd be worth going through the tournament that he's had in the last 10 days or so in Sano. It's been a whirlwind for him.
Yeah, my favourite's still probably one of his, I think it was the first day against Papua New Guinea. Just started wide, swung back in, took out off stump. Brilliant delivery from the young man. But he just may remember these runs. Josh Brown's, Kendall Karawaki Fleming's. More cry.
Didn't get the chance to take on Cantor Lyons, of course, with the washout, so James Baisley still eludes him. Well struck by the new batter.
I say though, Kendall Karawaki Fleming has got his team off to a good flyer here, set a good foundation. His 45 runs came from just 30 balls, so 61 for 1 after 7 overs. Feel a score of 160, 170 plus in the final. A little bit too much pressure will Kansai to chase, but from what we've seen, we've handled the tournament very well. Kansai Chargers been led by Declan Suzuki McComb. He's the man with the ball in hand.
Suzuki McComb in again for second over. Wedged out to the offside. Should just be the one. Seriously consider coming back, and thought it was a foolish run to take. In the end, they were smart to turn back. It's tumbling over the other ground in the third, fourth place playoff. We'll try and keep you updated on that as that goes on. Well, this Cantor looking to pull this campaign out of the fire and win the tournament. Last gasp victory in the final. Sneaking in. Ito Davis straight to the man at cover. Oh, big wicket. Suzuki McComb gets his man. It couldn't have picked him out better if he tried at cover. Ethel Davis, unfortunately, an easy catch at cover.
Yeah, it was almost catching practice, wasn't it? Straight to him, didn't move an inch. They'll be thrilled with that wicket. They know how much Benjamin Ethel Davis can hurt the opposition, bat in hand. Yeah, you're saying East Kanto Sunrisers straight through to the final. In comparison, the Kansai Chargers haven't really been challenged to a tournament. Well, in saying that, they probably were in the game preceding the final here, having to chase 170 down, but in the end, they did win the game by 9 wickets. Other matches also another win by 9 wickets over South Kanto, and a win of 26 runs against East Kanto. The game against North Kanto was rained off, so could this be the year for the Kansai Chargers, searching for their first ever JPL title?
Abhishek Anand, number 4 for the Sunrisers. There's a little bit of depth in this East Kanto batting lineup, but two key men departing. This comes on won the round robin match between these two teams by 26 runs. Into a gap. Well fielded outside the circle by the mid-on fielder who made good ground in good time. That's a good applause from his teammates around the ground as well.
Just trying to spot who that is down, as you say.
Full toss, but going to hit out to long off. And the 8th over, 64 for 2. East Kanto, look at that batting lineup, still batting to come. Takahashi, Yoshi Takada, Kento to the bell, Sean Slater, Shuna, Fujioka Fletcher, Zubair Khan and Sanam Rutel. Zubair may come in at number 10. He's got a JCL T20 to his name, so there's certainly enough firepower in the group to post a score of note. They know where the danger lies in their opposition. It's in the form of big burly Ipswich boy by the name of Jack Wood. In the air, man running in, he's put it down. It was a tough chance. Takada
Taniyama,
I should say.
He did well to get there, didn't he? And lost his feet to get outstretched hands to the ball. But I want to say on hitting the dirt, he spilled it. A big wicket. Massive collapse on ground too. We'll update you on that at the end of the over. Back with Kai Wall.
Shout from Kai Wall. You probably need to think more about collecting the ball. They could have run a leg by there in the end. They don't. Definitely going down the leg side. Exuberance of youth.
65 for 2, so going along with a good rate, just under 8. Only 2 wickets lost for Iskanto. As I say, batting to Khan Daniels, so
Shout to 2 from Jamison. None runs back. Tell you what, trying to throw in might have made things interesting. In the end, the ball maybe just holding up in the infield, bouncing up into the square.
you're not exactly on the boundary rope, are they, the onside fielders?
Again, the shout is 2. It's a long way out there. They take him on. And he's been run out. It's a terrible call in the end. He's been able to use the square to bounce into the bowler's hands. Well executed run out. And Abhishek Anand has got to walk back. He might just get an apology from his batting partner. Oh, he was giving up. Didn't even bother trying to slide his bat.
It was similar to the ball before, wasn't it? Where he did make his way home, but as you say, probably a quicker throw in. But this time, yeah. Who knows, could be fitness. Players will be getting tired in this last round. One afternoon of the tournament. Third wicket falls. So Chargers love that. The team came in for a huddle. They're up for this final. Competitive bloke as Declan Suzuki McCone. A number of competitors surrounding him and his team as well as I look around the outfield. The batsman will be Tsuyoshi Takada. He's not on strike.
Playing miss and no sign of Ibi Takahashi as yet.
So as promised, an update from ground 2, Wisconto Hurricanes batting and in the pile of trouble, 68 for 7, just the 12th over. Josh Brown foul without scoring. There's a couple of steps there. 4, Hugo Tan 1, Muhammad Ali 1, Mohamed Lake 2. Bit of a cameo from Shuka, but he was run out from Kazumasa Hidatsuka, so yeah, perhaps carrying their disappointment from the earlier match into this match. They were expecting, they would have woken up this morning, Daniel, thinking we can march ourselves into the final and take this title. They would have felt pretty good after the first innings, 170 runs on the board, and well, Chargers took that away.
This is an interesting move so early in the innings. Abdul Samad's been deployed again. Declan Suzuki McComb, an aggressive move this. It's on Takada. Wide of the short third, there should be chat of 2, but it will make it easily back. Picking up, if anything, again, sort of against the wind is the hitting now at the moment at this end for Takada. Got up to a level Let's sort of factor it in your batting now. Sliced past the man in the infield. Protection there, just one. Now we might see an early finish over on the other ground, which would swell the crowd for the final here in the afternoon. Looks like big James Bazley's been struck for a boundary. Cover called into action.
Yeah, the wind seems to pick up and gusts and then die down again, doesn't it? But the wind pretty much coming into the batsman from over the umpire. That's long off position. So favouring the other end, putting down the ground. Into the over for Samad. He's bowled 3 now, no wicket for 9. Team total 72 for 3. Halfway point. The sun's out, it's not hot. That breeze keeps everyone cool, but it's probably around 20-21 degrees. Beautiful afternoon on what is a national holiday here in Japan. I'm just swapping out a couple of fielders, changing position. Yeah, what could have been for Wisconto.
One over gets them 162 from here. Helped by a loosener from Melinda Dissanayake first up for Takada. Doesn't capitalise with 4. I think score in the realm of 150 to 160 is probably realistic from here. Do you know that they'll need as many as they can get with Jack Wood in the opposition? Takada just tucked up a fraction there, but still manages to negotiate a single. Jamieson on strike. An interesting time for Jamieson here. He's losing wickets around him, but he knows that he's going to have to lift and pick up the run rate at some point. It's just a case of how early he wants to start accelerating. Oh, with a strange passage of play, the sweep shot, it's come off the back of his bat in the end.
The keeper looking in the direction completely the opposite of where the ball had ended up.
You see that happen in junior cricket a lot sometimes. I can't say I've seen that happen at this level. This one is a wide. Missed out on a wide ball before because he made contact with his bat in the end, all being on the follow through. Good over this from Dissanayake. First ball, it didn't get pounced on. Just asking some questions of the marquee man. Works that into the leg side. Not a risk, but only for 1 with the man out there. Kansai just tightening the screws a little bit here. To what was an electric start with the bat. Unforced error from Padawaki Fleming to concede the wicket, and soon more after that. And the top of off has been struck, and Takada goes, falling to Dissanayake.
Yeah, just straight through the gate. You only got an inside tickle or?
Yeah. So I didn't hear a noise.
So, go. Tucker to out bowl. 6 coming from 7 deliveries. 4 down for Iskanto. 9 overs remain. There's 16 runs coming from the last 4 overs, so could fight back this from the Chargers. In the end of the over, we'll start with Samad. He'll be bowling his 4th and final from the mountain end. Takahashi, new batsman to the crease. The non-strikers end at the moment. George Jamison still there for East Kanto. This pass. Wicket for a simple single. They'll bring Takahashi onto strike.
Take on the point fielder and win. And you can tell this wicket is just starting to dust up, a little bit slower to bat on.
Yeah, you wonder if a score of around 150, 160 still got, a competitive score to chase down, as I say, on a slowing wicket. The final. Just 2 balls away from the end of his spell, Samad. I'd love him to smear one of these 2 wickets. Wicketless at the moment, probably for the first match of this tournament for him. Almost what he could have been suggesting.
No, it's trying to decipher that. What you're watching on conversation between Samad and Takahashi, end of the over. 84. 8 overs left. 10 over gets them to 160.
Probably a bit of rivalry. They probably know each other well.
Yeah, international teammates as well.
Yeah, Pakistani descent as well. Last Embassy Cup, Samad would have been a key member of the Pakistan Embassy 11. I don't know if Ibi Takahashi was in country the last tournament, held in October. He may also be playing for the Japan team. Eight overs remain. Projected score 3-3. I think they'll be looking to score a few more than that.
sliced behind point, 4 runs. Purvis Kulal, who came in at a similar phase in the first game today, and kept things tight. Completes the boundary first ball. Easy one. Good start, but Jamison this over. See it. Signal there.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah,
I was just looking over a number of swing bowlers. The swing bowlers this country will have. What's the score they can defend?
Judging by that shot, it was not. This is not, yeah. Chris Thurgate, the umpire, this end just almost put his hand up and almost sort of signalled the 3-hit signal, but it was not. Well, I think there was a little tickle on this from Takahashi down to the fence. Leg by as it was, so not off the bat. It doesn't go against Kulal's figures either, but for the Chargers, it's 4 more that they're going to have to get this afternoon. Good comeback from Kulal. Maybe just a little off cutter. Maybe back into Takahashi there. Oh, pops up, but they only pick up on the half volley. 13 overs gone, 89 for 4.
Quick update from ground 2. West Country Hurricanes in that battle for 3rd, 4th player to 97 now. 8 down, just two wickets remain at the crease. Straight to Sudan. He's there on 37. Alongside Ryan Drake, 2 not out. 5 overs remaining there, so Ryan will be to bat the allotment first of all.
They kicked off had earlier in that ground. Both teams eager to get going.
Makoto Taniyama, the Japanese Shane Warne, is often known around the cricket community in Japan. Called himself the taught himself the art of leg spin bowling from watching Shane Warne videos. Big fan of Australian cricket. Really loving the challenge here. Just kind of has worked nicely for the team. Set 25 off 30. Always out the reverse sweep. Probably just the one. He's coming back to the second. And he does it comfortably.
Yeah, got in and out quickly, didn't he? Bowler's end back to keeper's end.
Again pulls out the reverse sweep. This time is fielded, but they scamper through for a single.
Jamison, no. Backed up. At least he looked for the two. Ran the first one hard. You're always taught as a kid growing up. Didn't quite knock it far enough from the bowler to run a second on that occasion. The idea from Jamison was there. This wicket definitely a lot slower now. We've seen plenty of traffic on it over the course of the 3 days. It makes you wonder what a target score of the team batting first would like to put up, knowing that it's certainly not going to be a walk in the park on the chase to victory in a final too. Takahashi through the gap. There's a man running around. They should come back for two this time. Really well just to knock it to the infield covers right. End of the over. 96 for 4. If you were to put yourself in Kendall Katawaki Fleming's shoes, scarf 150. Might be a winning score in the afternoon. Not that they would be targeting only 150, I'm sure a few more would be desirable. I'm not trying to turn into Mr. Greedy. Well, again, it's bowled well for the most part to Jamison, just keeping things tight. No doubt the reward of his wicket.
Yeah, 8 bowlers used from Suzuki Makan. Plenty of options to bowl out these remaining 6.
Push that through just a fraction quicker, Kulal. He's just got that knack of being able to bowl the effort ball, doesn't he?
The only option Suzuki Makan doesn't have now is Abdul Samad, who's bowled out his spell. Probably won't go to Jack Wood for another.
Outside edge. Man running around from third will collect. No slipping playing for short at this part of the innings. Starting to mount a little bit. These ones out with the outside edges as well. Oh, paddled. And paddled with panache by Mitch Jamison. That is some shot. Takes that from what looked to be well outside the off stump. Get another look at it on the replay. Yeah, he's taken that from about 5th stump line, maybe even 6th stump line.
Yeah, classy shot, wasn't it? Didn't go too early, did he? Getting himself sticking across the offside. Bowler unable to adjust.
And that's been rocketed into the offside.
Yeah,
And
brilliant.
Jack Wood, his long arms aren't even able to stop that one. Goodness me, power there generated more in the wrists than anything else.
Position perfect. These Australian marquee players are coming to the forefront, aren't they, at the latter end of this tournament? Struggled a bit on day one. Fair enough too, getting used to the conditions. Boy, these last couple of rounds starting to show their real class.
Good comeback from Kalal, who's still League 1 though. Jameson will retain the strike, 39 off 38 for him, 107 for 4, 5 overs to go. Maybe eyes on 160. Jameson there, there's hope of putting up almost anything. Good little start back meanwhile in the 3rd place playoff as well. You see Jake Sudanan in the runs. He played a couple of good shots lower down the order at times. 42 or 35 in the end. 17 overs into that innings. Taniyama meanwhile to give Jameson the 1. Time beating infielder, but man protecting.
Can't say charges need to keep taking wickets here, don't they? These two could really hurt them in the remaining 4 and a bit overs. Jameson well set. He faced 39 deliveries. Takahashi, well, he's relatively new to the wicket, but we know how aggressive he can be. Would love to be able to keep them to less than 150, but conversely, these two could just tee off.
Should just be the 1. Well, be interesting into the mind of Declan Suzuki-Nakom, what he's almost willing to concede with the ball, the end of the over, what he's actually happy to try and give up to chase down. Whether or not he feels like he needs to kind of remain aggressive and claim, say, these 2 wickets in their little assault. 111 for 4, 16 overs gone.
They will have a stronger batting lineup in this game compared to this morning's game. The addition of Alex Shidai, Pat Moore.
Yeah, good point. The fancy Jack Wood would still need a pretty big innings of note if the Chargers had to really put a dent into the chase, especially in the early goings on.
Koko Taniyama also into the side for this afternoon's match. He'll probably come down later in the order, around 7, perhaps 8. He scored domestically a ton for his local side.
It's a wide. This ball of Jawari's second spell.
You could see a score around 150 being perhaps a real.
Yeah, definitely. See this wicket dying a little bit now. We've seen a lot of cricket being played on the surface here. The SICG. It's actually been quite admirable how much they've been able to put up. Good catch on the return. Tawari running in, holding on, good reflexes in the end for Takahashi. Just held up in the surface a tad. Yeah, you can just tell that maybe the way that Takahashi sort of played that bat.
Yeah, so just a sign of the wicket slowing up a bit perhaps through the shot. A little earlier than anticipated, and well, Takahashi has to return for 7 off his 15 deliveries. It's all over the first innings on ground 2. Just can't tell. Finishing up for on 114 for 10, being bowled out on the penultimate ball of the 19th over.
The innings over on field number 2, third place playoff.
Arab Tawari changing ends for what will be from the school end here, Sano.
North Country meanwhile being set 115 to win over on field number 2 to claim third place.
Quinto Otodobel new at the crease for the Skanto Sunrisers.
Good shout, and the might have been signalled though. Sure, Pat more convinced that there was something on the way through. Down the left side, so little break in play. Just maybe throwing his rhythm out of Tad Tawari. mark.
Still believe he plays as cricket for Kawasaki Knight Riders, about Tuari. Maybe 2 matches domestically played.
And able to get the shuffled paddle away. It's been tough sledding in the last 10 overs or so. Newer ball, a bit softer now and not quite coming onto the bat. Pitch that's seen, as we've said, a lot of cricket over the last 3 days. Much easier to bat, much quicker coming onto the bat anyway in the morning's fixture. Worked into the leg side for 1.
Yeah, the power play after 6 overs, they were 55 without loss, weren't they? And at that stage, the run rate was up around 9. It's since fallen. Maybe about just over 6.5. Nearing 7. If you're looking for a big finish, East Gunter Sunrisers try and exert some real pressure on Kansai coming out to chase this and what is a slowing wicket. And we'll have the spin of Benjamin Mito Davis and Ibi Takahashi.
Nice little conference there between Suzuki and the bowler just a moment ago, just to reiterate the plan. Not so those wide for the theme leak.
Yeah, the extras column, they're looking a little too healthy. Suzuki and Kone would have wanted, right? Just looking at it.
Big slower ball dug into the surface for protection out in the form of Jack Wood. Might have just been a sort of premeditated plan that the last ball would be over. Just the one off. Nice ball.
13 extras thus far. Not ideal. Include 7 wide, so in effect we're able to be bowled with one council charges. And as you say, it'd be interesting to get in the head of Suzuki Nakane, what he'd be comfortable in facing. A big part of that. Jack Wood, right?
Yeah, I think he would have realised too, having bowled on the surface himself, that the deck isn't exactly perfect coming onto the bat. And that the Jack would factor in though, as you mentioned. Suzuki can bring himself on. This one a leg by as well.
Well, Fujihara did his part in that partnership in the end, didn't he? Although just he's not been named for this final match, Fujihara. Guy Patmore no doubt will open the Kansai charges. Most probably alongside Jack Wood.
For the Chargers, I think you probably want Wood facing as many balls as possible. Over the top, wedged in between 3 fielders, it'll just be the one. This is a no ball. A free hit inbound. Anderson unable to put away what was almost a free hit in its own right outside the off stump. On the full. Can only be run out, this delivery. He's gone hard and high, and I think he's done enough to clear the rope, has he? Yes, just... Oh, hold on a second.
No.
Goodness gracious me, what have we just seen? That is one of the most athletic displays I've ever seen across any sport and any athletic endeavour. Goodness me. In terms of 6 savers, I'd given up on it. I think you'd given up on it as well, Garth Thomas, next to me.
Superb bit of athleticism. Taking it in one hand, turning and releasing in the same motion. I want to say the batsman got back for... They did get back for a third. But what a save there. That is Jack Wood out there on the boundary road, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Did he switch ball and hands, or did he?
No, I think he kind of
just with the,
dived and sort of flicked up in one motion.
Beautifully done. What a save.
Has he done enough? He was completely wrong-footed, the fielder at 45. Didn't they end up running 2? Some outrageous cricket going on. I'm bereft of words after what I've just seen from Jack Wood, though. Goodness me.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to need another look at that.
If Carnside Chargers get up by 1 run, they'll look back at that moment. Simply superb.
Oh, they've got some great camera work on the stream to get it as well. There's another pair of eyes here.
Wonderful.
Astounding. Absolutely astounding. Oh, they're taken on the fielder and the pressure leads to a misfield. We'll come back for a second. There's an interesting question that's come in on the YouTube comments as well from John Stafford, which probably worth discussing. End of the over. 129 for 5. Now, match in the morning here on ground number 2 was moved to the synthetic, and questions being asked as to why that was moved in comparison to the game on match day 1 in the morning that got called off. The reason was because they'd actually deemed the rest of the outfield on the morning of the first day too dangerous for play. There were too many puddles and slippery spots, and there wasn't a chance to play a match there, whether it be on the synthetic or on the turf wicket, irrespective of whichever wicket they played on. And they came here today, and there's been precedent set. It's been done here in the past where if the outfield's deemed good enough to be played on, they do move to the synthetic surface. They've done it in the JPL before. That's the precedence that they took. They've also done it in international matches here. And that was the reason why that game was able to be moved in the outfield in the first morning. And I remember when we showed up here on the morning of match day 1, we were astounded we got any cricket at all on the other ground. So I wasn't surprised when the other game got called off. A wide signal here to begin Sawari's 4th.
Yeah, but a fair question from John, and I know there were a few in that West camp that felt a bit agitated with that decision, but you've explained it well, Daniel. Coming to the ground that first morning, the outfield was absolutely solid.
Yeah, I actually couldn't believe we got any cricket at all on match day one. I think a few boys are playing the rain card. And I wasn't far away from playing it myself, but the luxury of getting here a little bit later with you. Timed by Elton Bell. It might be just an indication that this wicket is on the slower side now. Jamison moving to a half century. Meanwhile, has shown a real aptitude.
He's played the wicket well, hasn't he, Jamison? Something quite irregular playing this cricket in Australia.
Elton Bell out to the man at long off.
A lot of ones and twos coming from Mitchell Jamison's innings today. 50 up, of course. And, 4 boundary fours. He's just neutered all around the park well. He's really anchored the innings for the East Coast of Sunrisers.
Well worked into the leg side, but can't move past the 45 fielder. Yeah, I think too, to kind of talk about the move to the synthetic in the morning's action, you want to come here and have cricket being played. You don't really want to sit around and watch it for the sake of, watch the weather for the sake of watching the weather. People are here, come from all over to play cricket, to work at the cricket, for the spectators here to watch it as well. And it just didn't quite work out for the West Country Hurricanes, but they did lose 3 matches on the way to final. So off to a rocking start and played a team in the Chargers who they lost to, and the Chargers were in the final no matter what. So.
But you're right, that's what actually Sam also was saying to me around playing on what he would call Simper.
Yeah, it's a very odd term, that.
Yeah, one we're not used to in New Zealand, but he said that very thing, you know, he came here to play.
Bipad. Hold the bell. The bye is given. And the end of the 19th over. So as we head into the final 6 balls of this one, 1-3-5.
Yeah, do you think Captain will take the ball himself to finish it off? Looks like
he will be.
Yep.
I don't mind this. So having a look at the figures, of course, he bowled out Abdul Samad relatively early. Then he was in an aggressive position, but looking back and after he sort of held the run rate there, Samad wasn't the worst decision looking back. And he's not going to bowl Wood. Kaiwal had 2, he needed them. Sanaika, Kulal and Taniyama just threw the ball around, and appreciate the captain taking on the responsibility. Keep her up to the stumps as well. Swing and a miss. Good start from Suzuki Macomb. 5 balls remaining. Just having a look at the field set. Get the impression that he's going to be trying to keep the ball relatively full here. 2 men in the infield on the leg side are at 45 and deep backwards, sorry, sort of square leg. That square leg called into action, looks like Kawa Lin there at mid-wicket, the sub-fielder.
one leg just been dropped back from the circle onto the rope, and third man coming inside the circle.
Jamison, man out running in, holds on. Fielder just goes back to long off. Suzuki McComb happy just to let everyone sit out there in the final over. Not quite there for Jamison to get underneath that one with any leverage or power, and an easy catch in the end for the man, made good ground running in. Experience of Suzuki McComb just coming through here for beaten Kansai Chargers. Come up against what's likely their biggest competition yet for the trophy. Fittingly, it's the team with the trophy defence going on, looking to not give it to anyone else.
As you say, the round robin game between these two resulted in a Chargers victory by 26 runs. Might rip through the team. It's about 3 for 10 with those 4 overs, but back in the final, Suzuki McComb from Mount Karasawa in
continues a fine last over this. Sean Slater been rocking 77 at the tournament on the last minute number change. Down the leg side. Should be talk of 2. Come back anyway and completes the second. Nice ball of the innings coming up. Did well to scurry back. Clean pick up at the keeper's end might have led to a run out. Not that it matters anymore.
Just a quick conversation here between Kento and Shulman. Perhaps the need to run as many as possible in this last delivery. It's been a good over from Suzuki McComb. Can you take momentum into the innings break?
It's a great finish to the over from Suzuki McComb. They only scraped through with 1. The captain steps up for his team. A quiet over. Finishes with 2 for 29. His bowling figures. His Kanto Sunrisers finish 139 for 6. An even 7 and over required for the Chargers to claim their first ever Japan Premier League trophy at JPL 10. An intriguing second innings around the corner here in Sano at the International Cricket Ground. On a deck that's showing signs of a little bit of slowness, and I'm not going to ask you, Garth Thomas, for a prediction, but all I will say is that I think we both expect some fireworks and maybe a tight finish to what's been a great competition.
Yeah, do join us. We'll be taking a break for around 10-15 minutes. Do join, tune back in. Remember, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Japan Cricket, a lot of content coming up. International Try Series over the next week in a bilateral series. We've got Women's International Cricket 2 coming in June. So look for Japan Cricket, either on X, Facebook or Instagram, or on the YouTube channel. We'll be back with you in 15 minutes.
Welcome back to the Sano International Cricket Ground. The final innings of JPL 10, the innings that will determine who takes the JPL trophy. Kansai Chargers taking on the East Kanto Sunrisers. 7 and over needed in the afternoon, and the man who made such a storming run with the bat earlier takes guard for the Chargers. Jack Wood, 127 not out in the previous game. Different kettle of fish this afternoon though. The wicket slower, drier, perhaps tougher to bat on now. We'll come up against the defending champions, desperate to hold on to the trophy. Just awaiting the scorers to be ready on the far side of the ground. Adam Burr signalling to them. Looks like Shoma Slater taking the new ball. Pankaj Chand, the non-strikers. Jack Wood facing up. Two noises to begin the chase. There might have been half a shout.
Yeah, what a game we have in store. I actually think it's going to be going down to the wire, to be honest. There was talk about the wicket just slowing up. It's not going to be as easy as what Jack Wood was batting on this morning. He's got the experience in the nous to adapt though. I've noticed how fellow marquee player Drew Jamieson played. There's 51 coming from 50 balls.
Another little revelation I've noticed here at the start of the second innings, of course, with no Navaratna in the 11. Yoshi Tuckett has taken the gloves. Number 88. Into the leg side, man out there, deep square leg. Power play. As per normal T20 regulations, 6 overs, the man, 2 fielders permitted outside the infield circle. Just noticing a slight change of tack between these two openers. A deep third's gone back, but deep square leg remains in place for now. 45 fielder looks rather square, so a little tickle down the leg side more than likely end in a boundary. Two minds, Pankaj Chand there, feeling out that delivery. Miss.
Good start here from Shoma Slater. It's what his captain Karawaki Fleming would have wanted. No looseness. Let's exert pressure from ball one. Started well here.
Something we haven't really talked about in terms of the surface might wait till the end of this delivery. Oh, a little tickle was it? He's walked off. Just checking if it had carried to Takeda, who takes the gloves and takes the catch, or Pankaj Chand.
He walked, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Adam Burr turned to Chris Thurgate just to double check that the catch had carried, and Chand was happy that even if he'd looked back and seen it, or Thurgate deemed it a fair catch. He was happy to walk. Takara, gloves in hand. No concerns from a keeping point of view as yet. And again, with a catch.
Yeah, good start from, well, current champions, aren't they? Is Kanto searching for their 4th title in this match. It would equal Super Kings having 4 titles. Meanwhile, Kansai Chargers are looking for their first victory of the JPL. This being edition 10. The draft system really adding to this year's format. Also the 5 marquee players being flown in from Australia, joining many other players from around the world, mostly Australia and New Zealand. Kento Otagobel is one of them, although he's living in Japan at the moment as Kento.
Good start from Bell to Wood. I know a lot will probably hinge on this particular game, but Sixers and Sevens trying to work out who the individual award winners are going to be at the end of this match. Down the leg side, they'll run a leg by. Bell right in the block hole to begin his day with the ball. The point that we wanted to mention on the last over is that yes, the wicket's drying up, but now due to the wear and tear cricket that we've had, there's an uneven covering of grass on the surface, and it means that the odd ball will fire through, and then every once in a while one will actually sit up on the surface. We've seen a couple of sort of fronted return catches. As the tournament's gone on. From Chris Thurgates.
That's exactly right, Daniel. It was what you were saying. The wicket just playing as true as it was earlier in the tournament or earlier this morning, which makes that 139 a chase of 140 just a bit harder.
Through the gap, through 3 of them in fact. We only get 2 though.
Yeah, if you're watching from somewhere in the world making 140 to win, it's a easy calculation.
Easy chase.
Easy chase, not so. I definitely see 8, perhaps 12 overs of spin from Iskanto. To start with, this Newbury ball, I've been told, can swing to perhaps 6, perhaps 8 overs. So using the skills of Kento Otagobel to take the ball away into the left-hander and away from the right-hander.
Just looked like that was going to hold up a little bit there. All remaining in this one. Shiva Patmore back in the Chargers team today.
Kento have to be good with his line here. Patmore leaps onto anything wide, loves to play square of the wicket.
of the second over. The Chargers 5-1.
How comfortable do you think Kansai Chargers will be in terms of the run rate getting over a certain point?
They let it go out to about 11, didn't they, in that Kansai Hurricanes win. And man, of course, still in, and with him in, there's probably always hope. It is definitely slower and lower now than it was 5 hours ago, though, so. Easiest of catches cover next door. Oh, outside edge, short of the man at backward point. Nuts and mouth signs if you're a Chargers fan.
Yet, these Kanto fielders will be well aware of what Jack Wood did in the earlier game. In fact, the reason they're out here in the finals because of his innings, really. Putting this Kanto out of contention.
Full toss straight to Kendall Fleming.
Mitchell Jamison's innings earlier on, he's put himself into second place on the ladder of most runs scored. Holding that place at top is Jack Wood.
Down the leg side, an extra run afterwards, so it's the 1-0 for the total. Of course, has to be resolved as well. Over the top, there's a man out there though. Oh, he's held onto the catch. What a big wicket that is. In the context of the competition. Missed time from Jack Wood. He barely put a foot wrong earlier today. This one maybe just holding up in the surface a fraction. And what a good catch down there at long on. I reckon it might be Mitch Jamison. Removed the fellow marquee man.
Big wicket for East Kanto after the heroics of Jack Wood in the earlier game this morning, finishing with the highest ever JPL score and victory for his team. Declan Suzuki McComb will be the new batsman for Kansai Chargers.
Probably would have had Jack Wood almost penciled in as tournament MVP if they were to have won this game, and with him having a successful chase. In the end, it's given us another little thing to consider.
Yeah.
A little run score of the tournament, at least for now. I suppose the upside in all of this is we see Declan ready to face up. So many candidates and so many players stepping up across the 5 teams this weekend. Down the wicket is Slater. Down the leg side, wide given. Yeah, it's made our job much more difficult, but I would take that every day of the week. Competitive field and a lot of depth across the teams. You never really want someone to just completely run away and no doubt be the best player of the tournament. Call through. It's a good run from should I putt more? I can safely say, I'll turn to you now, Garth, and I don't know who the MVP of this tournament is. No one's run away. Wickets, no one's run away in terms of consistency with the bat. I know there's a deadline on things like this, but if Alan Kerr's listening around the ground somewhere, I think I'm just going to have to sit and maybe give an apology, because I don't really want it to take up all of our brain power up here in the comms box in the next innings or so. I've only got to do a match before the end of this game anyway. That'll be over a line lager this afternoon. Patmore adds one. A long way to 140 now. It'll feel like a mile away. Not a whole lot of energy in that Chargers dugout to our left at the moment. Sitting around and boys in there asking themselves who it's going to be to stand up. Worked well into the leg side. This will take some stopping. Sabaya Khan in the end does enough. Keep it to 2. It's a great chase. Congratulated by a couple of his teammates there. The end of the over. 12 for 2, 3 overs gone.
Yeah, not the start Kansai Chargers would have wanted to have made, but still a long way to go in this match. These two currently at the wicket, both members of the Japan national squad. Just having a chat, making plans, ticking off targets.
Brought up in the MVP ranks is definitely someone to keep an eye on. Is Mitch Jamison.
Mitch Jamison, yeah, good call.
50
yeah.
that he made in the final here, and has chimed in with the ball as well.
Yep.
It's a very tight field. Make a case for a number of different players. Maybe if someone was to stand up in the second innings here, it might make things a little bit easier for us.
And unfortunately, in terms for the local players, Savadesh Ravichandran doesn't have an opportunity to advance his contributions he's made with the feet up, probably watching the game from down below. It's not often does Savadesh not feature in the best bat and bowler of the All-V MVP over the years gone by. Some new contenders this year, many of them in the likes of those marquee players from Australia.
All-round talent of Benjamin Nicol-Davis is probably a player to consider. That win on match day 1. If you don't win that game, then not in the final.
Charlie Hens, another South Canter player who's just watching this with his feet up. Made a brilliant start to the tournament with bat and ball.
I'm unable to beat man wide mid off. Over the top. Nicol-Davis running around at a rate of knots to beat that to 2. Oh, big shout. Yeah, Chris Thurgate feels that's going on to hit the stumps. Declan Suzuki-McComb looks a little bit disappointed with that one. Takahashi fired in. Maybe just straightening up. We'll wait the replay here. Okay, thinking that that's going on to hit leg, and it's a tight decision.
It's a big wicket for East Kanto. You could hear it with the appeal, with the celebration after the finger went up. You know how destructive Declan Suzuki-McComb can be. He has to depart and leave responsibility with his Japan teammate Alex Shirai Patmore. Fourteen for 3. Kansai charges for the first time in this tournament. They put under real pressure and come into the final undefeated, winning 3 of their games, and their game against North Kanto being abandoned due to weather on day 1. Then won 2 of their fixtures by 9 wickets and the other one by 26 runs. That win coming over East Kanto. Currently with their tails up. With Takahashi, 2 balls remaining in the over.
Takahashi on the money early. Opposition. New man in. And got the over. 14 for 3.
And Alex will just set out trying to rebuild the innings after their, as I say, top order. 3 down just in the 4th over. One rate just over 7.5, so they won't be worried about that at all. They're just putting on a partnership of some sorts, getting back on track to give them an opportunity to take this game deep. You never know what can happen. The deeper you can take the match. Perhaps just happy to go along at 6 or 7 and over at this stage.
Inspire.
Yeah, we can be assured that he's going to test him with the short ball.
Yeah.
About.
Struck to point.
Brief chat to Kendall Karawaki Clement. He was going to join us in the commentary box for the final. That's where his thoughts were. Some 6 hours later, he's steering his team to victory. They'll go back to back if they can win it. With only did they have to win this morning's match, but they had to do so and improve their net run rate, which they did with precision, well over West Kanto's run rate. .139 on the board, and the opposition at 15 for 3. Very much in control.
Down the leg side, well plucked out of the air by the 45 fielder. Looks like a Sajid over there. Lucky Fleming, make sure that he runs over to celebrate and congratulate him.
He is well plucked out for one bounce. Could easily have been 4. Just keeps the pressure on Kansai Chargers. Make sure Patmore just pulling away and Zubir Khan starts his running. There's a bit of movement in the offside field.
Through a gap, beating the fielder. There will be a chat for 3, you would think. It's good running. Shiro Patmore running to the danger end. Will end up being thrown to the keeper's end. Good Yorker. Come up for the LB shouting. He's well down the leg side. He's even tried to have a little chat with Tanaka and his follow through. And the over 19 for 3.
Game on ground 2. North Kanto Lions in chase of 115 for victory. Currently 60 for 4. The middle of the 12th over. Koji Hargrave Arbad there at 10 not out with Avi Dewan.
Takahashi around the wicket.
No boundaries of yet for the Kansai Chargers in this innings.
Out and cut off the front end of the field is out on that occasion. And a brilliant effort to split the fielders in the deep for 4. Bosanayaka rocking back and plenty of power as he backed up and hammered this.
The reverse of the commentator's curse, just having spoken without the boundary being scored, happens in the 6th over.
Just trying to keep it competitive. Looking to find the same gap, and only find the man at deep mid wicket for 1.
Strays down wide of leg side as Takahashi cost them to be 2 wides.
He wanted 1, didn't get wide of Fletcher at mid wicket. End of the over, 26 for 3. Power play done. This comes for Sunrisers and maybe the experience of winning last year's tournament. Experience coming to the fore here. They look to close out back-to-back victories. And they had to do it the hard way to get to the final. Massive celebration going on for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, that's the 6th wicket down for the North Gunto Lions.
Michael Davis in. His first over, this one. It's his captain backing him up in the field and keeping his first ball to just 1. Going about his business well at this tournament. Michael Davis, hero in match day 1 win. And may well play a part in a tournament victory in the final here as well. Left-hander, Shai Patmore, favours himself against. This field from Jamison there, but doesn't cost his team a run. Thanks Sean Slater for bailing him out there. This time they take on the backward point. Well run single, Dustin Knight getting down to the keeper's end. Oh, I think that struck him on the helmet. like it. A little bit of turn and bounce for young Offie. Well guided. Tough chase for Takahashi. Looks like he's being impeded by an injury of sorts.
He's not running freely, is he?
Try and hide him somewhere, of course. Be a member of the bowling attack. Still has 2 overs to bowl. Of course, Ibrahim Takahashi is off spin. To the leg side. This will be tough to stop. It's done just enough, I think.
Lovely little offload.
Palm there to his mate.
It wasn't executed perfectly, but enough.
Job done.
Yeah. As you're saying, Benjaminito Davis, he's contributed to his team with both bat and ball in this tournament. Currently sits 6th on the most runs scored in the tournament. 93 runs from his 5 matches. 55 is high score, as he's saying, that all-important win took the game away from the opposition. Him and Iki Takahashi with their partnership, both getting milestone 50s. 7th on the list for most wickets taken. 6 for 58 is figures at an economy of 5.27, so yeah, good man to have in your team, Benjaminito Davis.
Takahashi for his 3rd. I mentioned last over, he seems to be nursing some sort of knock. And one for Shiva Patmore. How they're going to pace this innings now. 7 wickets in hand. Knowing that's still under 5s. Get it for 7s, of course. 7's the magic number. It's nice, it does load up again. It's enjoyed.
The difficult nature and playing on this wicket just shows through with the number of boundaries. Just that one. And, almost halfway through the 8th over.
Patmore needs to move off the 1. Still have Mitch Jamison's leg breaks at their disposal if they so choose. Chance, Jamison running in, holds on, miscued, mistimed, misexecuted. Mitchell Jamison again makes another impact, albeit a catch in the outfield.
Yeah, the 4th wicket to fall here. Canso Chargers really digging themselves a hole on that. They might not be able to get out of. 140 needed for victory. The wicket really slowing up. At times a little too pace, so not easy for the incoming batsman.
5 p.m. bells chime here in Sarno. It's Monday afternoon.
Yep, time to go home. Unless of course your boss is still working and you've got to wait.
Salarymen having to stick it out into the evening, find themselves tumbling into an izakaya and can't leave until the boss goes, and they miss the last train home.
Final ball of the over just blocked, and 8 overs gone here at Sarno. 37 for 4 is Kanto, continuing to apply pressure through taking wickets at regular intervals. Are they on to title number 4? Well, should I Patmore and Kulal will have something to say about that. They'll still believe. Run rate still manageable. It's just the difficulty of this wicket. Big over, who knows? Benjamin Davis will continue. A couple of fielding changes been made for Benjaminito, changing position. Put it square here, he can make his way to the opposite side of the field. Pin it off.
Last chance saloon this really with should I Patmore. Reverses time.
Yeah.
One note.
Yeah. Kendall Karawaki Fleming, he's got his fielders in right positions for Alex Shirai Patmore. Often pulls out the reverse, the Shirai Patmore. Strong on both sides of the wicket, square of the wicket.
Easy one down the ground for Kowal at number 6. Ball of 1. Jamison fires.
Might be the first time we go the full distance with an afternoon match, is it, Daniel?
Could well be, yeah.
I'm just sort of looking at the light, by no means gloomy at the moment, but in half an hour's time, local time 5:03. No daylight saving in Japan. They tried it once back in the 60s. Salarymen did not like it at all, one bit. As long as it's light outside, you're still working.
Yeah, I can see what's going on there. Should be 2. $42 for 4. 1 moves to 3. Experience of Ibrahim Takahashi close out with his 4th over here. Sign off.
I've just seen Miyauchi's having a bowl on ground two.
Stop it.
He's bowled 2 overs, 3 for 5.
Maybe that's who I saw celebrating like a madman over there. This keeper gutter. Give him the ball. Goodness me. North Coast on the verge of losing that third place playoff to Miyauchi 3 for. Should be a leg by. Just Thurgate there. Big win so. This little injury that Takahashi potentially picked up, we'll see him in full stride. An upcoming international fixtures for Japan. Big swing and a miss on the sweep from Shirai Tatmore meanwhile. Hopefully, see him taking the gloves. Leading edge, but I'm short of Shoma Slater.
The selectors are not going to have an easy job on picking that squad, Daniel, for the upcoming international series. Just tell me the numbers. Would it be pick a squad of 14 or 15?
Yeah, 14, 15, I think.
Right.
Given the host, they might have the luxury of being able to keep another man in 15.
Mm-hmm.
Mix up. Oh, gets back in time, ends up wearing one in the helmet. Making sure that he's okay. Adam Burrows and Thurgate just checking in on the players' welfare as well. They might just have to replace the helmet. They also need to do a compulsory concussion check as well for the new laws of the game.
Indeed. And Miyauchi gets another caught and bowled and he's off.
Oh dear me.
4 wickets for Miyauchi. This time a caught and bowled.
Already one of the smiliest men around the circuit. Just imagine this afternoon we did the same. Dangerous time to be a cold beverage around the time Miyauchi this evening, I'd fancy. 10 overs gone. 45 for 4 charges. 95 in the last 10.
Well, Miyauchi has 5 balls remaining in this over to take a 5 for. Currently 4 for 5. North Country Lions 9 down. This is Miyauchi's only his 3rd over, so he does have 11 balls remaining. Given that he has the opportunity to take a memorable milestone 5 for. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Eagle Davis around the wicket to the left-hander. Oh man, I thought he almost played onto the stumps. A good little reverse. Tough chase, but we tell. That's well in the end. Just 2.
And it won't be for Miyauchi, as it's a run out that brings that game to an end. Ball over on ground number 2. West Kanto Hurricanes finishing 3rd in the JPL. North Kanto assigned to 4th position.
Oh, plucked it out of thin air. Mitch Jamison, the ball magnet. Shirai Patmore departs. Nickel Davis picks up his first of the day. And Mitch Jamison in the hot zone. It's his 3rd catch, I think, of the afternoon.
Another 30 centimetres and just cleared him. So the replay must have missed that, but yeah, good catch, Jamison. And with the departure of Alex Shilai Patmore, Kansai Chargers fans, their hopes been dashed. First final they've made in the JPL. Finished third last year, unconvincingly their third, fourth playoff. Unbeaten until the final. Still unbeaten, but perhaps hopes dashed. Half the team back in the shed, 47 on the board, another 93 needed, 9.4 overs.
Calls it yes. I can't really tell. So you see if Jamison gets a chance to bowl, maybe at this end with Takahashi bowling out.
Scoops it out for no run. Straight to captain. He's at mid wicket.
Bottom edge. They'll take them any way they can at this point. Chase the retail. Go into Karawaki following behind the stumps, end of the over. Up to 50 in that over. 51 for 5. Retail will be command to come on now with his leg spin.
Rahil Kano, new man to the crease for Kansai Chargers. A lot of experience behind him. He's played over 130 matches domestically in Japan. Works now for JCA.
One. Future player, only under 23 players here for this contour, of course. Best players converging on Sano across the country. Some overseas talent as well. Been treated to some great cricket over the last 3 days.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the amount of depth and of talent in various positions and roles. A number of leg spinners we've seen, unorthodox, left arm seamers.
Reverse, fine. Back, got one. Signal.
As mentioned before, picking a squad of 14 is not going to be easy for the Japanese selectors. whether the same squad will be used against the series against Cook Islands, whether they can make a couple of changes or not.
Top edge. Man running in is Jamison. The ball just seems to gravitate towards this man. It's catch number 4. These Kanto Sunrisers may be eyeing off the 2,000 yen drink special at the SICGT room.
Yeah. Nomi Hodai, as it's known here in Japan. Often a lot of places will offer you all you can drink or all you can eat tabe hodai. Brilliant deals to be had. And one here at the tea room in Sano, the International Cricket Ground. It's been a great 3 days of cricket as we see East Kanto just nailing in the final nails. Is there any fight left in this Kansai Chargers outfit? The scenario is becoming more and more difficult for the incoming batsman. Not an easy wicket to bat on. 6 down. Run rate now above 10. They're bringing back on Shama Slater, is it? To try and
Fletcher maybe.
Right, yeah.
Fujioka Fletcher right on scene. On the bounce still. Tall man. Shima.
Yeah, younger brother of Dylan Fujioka Fletcher. I believe Tauranga, they are plenty in New Zealand. Come over for the tournament as well as the Futures League earlier on.
Oh, a chance for Keeper. The gloves off and didn't fire in the end.
I think it was day one where I remember watching Dylan Fujioka Fletcher spank, I believe it James was one of the marquee players for a couple of sixes. Took a stunning catch also in front of us. Plenty of talent in the family of the Fujioka Fletchers.
Take him on. Quick one.
Yeah, after the 3 dots, you could feel Kalau just wanting to get off the mark wherever he hit it straight backward point.
Top of off is struck. Fujioka Fletcher takes the Chargers 7. East Kanto Sunrisers coasting on the verge of lifting the trophy again.
Yeah, as Makoto looks to be Taniyama makes his way to the wicket. Can he rescue his team? Can he perform some heroics? fading light here at Sano. Kansai's Chargers' dreams of holding the trophy are just sinking with the sun. Played so well throughout the tournament. Will be heavily disappointed.
Plenty of support for Taniyama in the tea room.
Somewhat of an iconic figure in Japanese cricket is Makoto Taniyama. Lovely, lovely guy. Very humble. My stat sheet, he's played 30 matches for Japan, but they'll be all the T20s that have been played since 2022. Of course, Taniyama making his debut a lot earlier than that. I don't have those stats in front of me, but I do believe he may have played 50 matches for Japan. He's probably up around 60. He's still in second place, I believe, not yet having played the most internationals for Japan.
Full toss. Ito Davis holds on. The Chargers are sinking without a trace now. Luitel gets in on the act. And the sun rises. About to ride off into the sunset with a trophy in their hands.
Yeah. Came down the wicket to try and create some momentum. Got on the full toss, but just didn't hit it cleanly at all. In the end, catch made look simple from Benjamin Ito Davis. Just 2 wickets away from victory. East Kanto looking for their 4th title for the JPL. Spooned a few metres away from a couple of fielders, so no chance.
Ito Davis again? No, just short. Set off quickly in the hope he could get there in the full and gave up on the chase. There was a few in the tea room giving him a couple of verbal jabs. Leading edge. Number 1.
And long on coming into the circle.
Taniyama, no. Jamison holds on. He talked into that wicket, I think from the tea room, egging him on, trying to knock one over mid-on's head. Mitchell Jamison, again, safe hands, Jamison.
Yeah, and just moments before Karawaki Fleming calling Jamison into the circle. So, great decision making from him as he leads his team to victory. Just 1 away now. Run rate almost at 14. It's fallen away for Kansai Chargers. The dreams of an inaugural title. Perhaps fell early on when they lost both openers. Early on, Jack Wood just the one charm to go for a dark. Bit of a fight back from Shadai Patmore. But it's been always Canto.
One ball away, one good ball away. Murray joined by young Kai Wall.
You didn't see Kai Wall back too much in the Under 19 series, didn't need to.
I wonder if he was telling me he got a little bit about him with the stick in hand. That's well played into the leg side, he'll get one. Think about MVPs again.
We certainly do.
Yeah. Might need to be a bit of a consensus, I think. There it is. The Sunrisers successfully defend their JPL title and close out with an emphatic victory over the Kansai Chargers on a Monday afternoon. Emphatic performance from everyone involved. Mitchell Jamieson and Kendall Katawaki Fleming at the top, and then the bowlers doing the job. Solid fielding performance as well. 5 catches into the hands of Mitch Jamieson to go with his half century in the final. The Chargers were valiant, went undefeated for the tournament up until the final where they fell. It was a fine campaign from the men in black and light blue under Nick Creasy and Declan Suzuki Nukom. They've been edged by a team who made a late run. It was late. It ended up great for Kendall Katawaki Fleming, Dougal Bedingfield and the rest of the East Country Sunrisers. They win by 79 runs to wrap up a successful tournament defence, Garth Thomas.
Yep, JPL champions for the 4th time, East Kanto Sunrisers, in what has been a historic JPL event, edition number 10, made even better from having these marquee players flown in from Australia, each making their mark, especially over the past 2 days. Just as professional on the field has been Daniel Beswick in the box seat here in the commentary box. Thank you for all your work, Daniel. It's been great sharing the microphone with you. I hope you've enjoyed your 3 days commentary here, along with your Under 19 series, but also your time in Japan, and we hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, I'll be making every excuse to come back, Thomas. It's been a pleasure being joined by you in the classroom. Make sure cameras get a workout a little bit later and some mementos before travelling back, and good luck to everyone here in Japan as they embark on a big international summer of cricket. It's been full of excitement already. Futures League into an Under 19 World Cup qualifier and then a JPL. Good luck on your trip back as well, Garth. A long trip up north to the top of the main island. As for everyone here in Sano, it's celebrations for the Sunrisers, who may not leave the Izakara until the sun is rising. Fine tournament victory for them. And some late deliberation for us in terms of deciding individual award winners, but on behalf of Garth Thomas and myself, Daniel Beswick, that wraps up the coverage here of JPLX. Thank you to everyone around the world joining and tuning in. Plenty of action as promised here at the JTA YouTube channel, with international cricket just around the corner beginning on the 7th of May. But on behalf of the pair of us up in the Combox, it's goodbye and a congratulations to the East Kanto Sunrisers winning JPL 10.